Hello and welcome to this broadcast here on the Walton High School Broadcast Network. I'm Trey Annity, joined alongside here by Chris Murphy, the Mavericks and the Dorman Cavaliers. Malden coming into this ball game now 3-2 on the season. Dorman at 5-1. The Mavericks coming off of a 62-14 win over Wade Hampton. Dorman coming off of a 49-0 win over JL Man. And now it is time for the kickoff. Avarius Blakely and Matt Atkins deep in the backfield here for Malden to open up. And our opening kick, and we are underway. It's going to be Atkins taking it from the 5-yard line up to the 10, finds a hole up the middle, slips, and is touched down around the 19-yard line, and that's where the Mavericks will take over on offense.
And this Malden offense was unstoppable on Monday night against Wade Hampton, going 9 for 10 on their drive, scoring 9 touchdowns, and they're definitely going to look to come out and do this against one of the top-ranked teams in the state, in the Dorman Cavaliers.
Dorman coming into this ball game ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in the region. They look to improve on that tonight. The Mavericks coming in at 4th in the region after the win over Wade Hampton. First snap, Harris looks for Dawsey, hits him at about the 25-yard line, and he's tackled down around the 27. And it'll bring up a second down and about 4 here.
And Dawsey being a big target for Draquan. It's going to be like that all night, him hooking up with Hunter Dawsey and finding Matt Atkins down the field for these big plays.
Snap now to Harris. He tries to pull the Dorman defense offside. He's unable to do so, and he's going to move Blakely to his right now and reset here with 3 receivers to his left and 1 to his right. Hands to Blakely here as he's tackled after about a 2-yard gain. It'll bring up 3rd down here for the Mavericks. Their first of the night. We saw their first drive last week, a very powerful one, as they drove all the way downfield and punched it into the end zone to take the early lead over Wade Hampton. Harris now, same formation, this time Blakely to his left. Takes the snap. Hands to Blakely again, who has a hole up the middle and some space. Up to the 40, up to the 45, 50, into Dorman territory, down to the 40, 35, 30, 20, 15, and he's tackled around the 12-yard line. A breakout run there by Avarius Blakely, and now the Mavericks setting up in the Dorman red zone.
And we saw Avarius Blakely and Jason Labrador rush for over 100 yards, so this run game is a huge part of the Maverick offense, and you see right there it's starting to take off tonight against the Dorman Cavaliers.
It's going to be a key point here for the Mavericks if they can come out and put up some points early. We saw it last week. Maybe they can take that offensive energy into this game and pull the upset here. It'll be interesting to see as we move along this ball game. Harris now in the same formation. He takes the snap, hands to Blakely. No, he takes it himself. He's looking for a hole right side, cuts back up the middle and gains about 3 on the play where he's tackled down around the 11-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd down and 7 for the Mavericks.
We're going to see a lot of design quarterback runs in this spread offense run by the Mavericks as they try to get the run game going here early on against Dorman.
Harris now with Dawsey as his lone receiver to the right side. He has Sullivan, Terry, and Atkins to his left with Blakely in the backfield with him. 2nd down and 7 now from the Dorman 11-yard line. Takes a snap. Hands to Blakely. Tries to cut up the middle and is tackled around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll bring up 3rd down and 7 now, as it'll be interesting to see if Malden convert on their first 3rd down in the red zone so far in this ball game.
This was a rare occasion on Monday night, seeing the Mavericks in a 3rd and long situation, so it's going to be interesting to see how they handle it here on their first drive.
New receiver into the ball game now for the Mavericks is Josh Rogers coming off of injury. He steps to the line. Harris now takes the snap. Drops back, looking over the middle, now looking left side under some pressure, throws for Terry near the corner of the end zone, leaps and tipped out of bounds, and a flag is on the play. I think it's going to be pass interference.
Yeah, and, at first it looked like it was a good job in coverage by the Dorman Cavaliers, but, in that situation, the defender would have to be going for the ball to not draw the foul, and in that situation he was turned around and, not going for the ball necessarily, but, going after the receiver, and that's why he was flagged for that penalty.
As the call is pass interference on the defense, and now the Mavericks will get set up with a fresh set of downs here. A big call early in this ball game to give the Mavericks another great opportunity here as they near the Dorman end zone. As they're going to move all the way up to about the 6-yard line. And now maybe we get to see Blakely's legs again here. We saw it earlier in the drive with the big breakout run. Maybe we'll get to see Harris. He had 3 rushing touchdowns on Monday night along with 3 in the air.
And it'll be interesting to see the play call here because with this spread offense, they can do so much in these short yardage situations. So, we'll have to see what happens here with the Mavericks.
Harris now continuing in the same formation we've seen all of this first drive. He has Atkins in motion this time. Fakes the flip to him, hands to Blakely, runs up the middle, and is tackled after about a gain of 2. He gets down to the 3-yard line. It'll be 2nd and goal from there.
And now you're really seeing this spread offense go to work with all these option plays and, all the quick passes and, getting down here in the red zone. The Mavericks really need it to, come in for them and be effective.
Harris now on 2nd down and goal from the 3. Takes a snap, drops back, looks over the middle under some pressure, and he's sacked behind the line of scrimmage there by Zari Vasquez. A nice tackle for loss, and it'll bring up 3rd down and goal here all the way from the 11-yard line now for the Mavericks.
And usually we're able to see Draquan Harris escape from the pressure and not take too many sacks, but right there, the offensive line just broke down, and he was still in the pocket. There was no escaping that time for Draquan Harris.
As Terry now moves to be the lone receiver on the right side. 3rd down and goal from the 10. Harris takes a snap, drops back, looks under the middle under some pressure. Again, he hits Blakely at about the 5, cuts back, down to the 3, down to the 2, rolls for the end zone, and gets in for the touchdown. And the Mavericks have taken an early lead here on the Dorman Cavaliers.
And Avarius Blakely really powering the Mavericks in this drive with his big run on 3rd down at the beginning of this drive, and then right there, just able to dodge and duck defenders and, break tackles and find his way into the end zone in a huge, huge first drive for the Malden Mavericks here.
Standards now. The extra point is up, and it is good. He was almost perfection on Monday night. He hit 6 extra points. He was 6 for 7. He did not get a field goal opportunity in that ball game. But that one is good, and the Mavericks now lead this ball game 7-0 here with 8 minutes and 6 seconds to go in this first quarter.
And, that is huge for the Malden Mavericks, able to get some early momentum with that first drive as they're able to drive down the field and get a touchdown. And, to see that run game get going and to see, things going well in the passing game and, giving themselves some early momentum here at home against one of the top-ranked teams in the state.
We saw the pooch kick over and over again on Monday night from Standard. It did force 2 fumbles on the kickoff. It'll be interesting to see if we get to see it here again tonight in his first kickoff. The Maverick defense has been playing very well these last several games, really the entire season, led by Jonathan LaFoy, the senior. It'll be interesting also to see if they can come out and make a stand here on the first drive. Standards now. His opening kickoff is somewhat of a pooch kick. It's going to be caught around the 25 and returned for about a gain of 3 there by Tyreek Long, the wide receiver.
And as this Maverick defense comes out, it's really going to be interesting to see how Jonathan LaFoy plays, as you said, Trey, and then, to see how Grant Weston has been a force all year long, to see how he's able to contribute to the effort here tonight.
As the Dorman offense now out on the field, they start from their own 31-yard line, led by Colin Hill, the senior commit to Colorado State University. And their first offensive snap. Fakes the handoff under some pressure quickly, and he's taken down for the sack in the backfield by Grant Weston, the senior. A nice play there for loss, and it'll bring up about 2nd down and 20 here for Dorman from their own 24-yard line.
And how ironic it is that, just a minute ago I was mentioning his name as this defense took the field, and he's already making an impact on this game with that huge sack on the first play from scrimmage for this Malden defense.
Hill now in the shotgun, 3 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Takes a snap, looking right side now. He fires that way and hits Tyreek Long, who fumbles the football. And the Mavericks are on it. It was ruled a complete catch, but they're saying that it was an incomplete pass there. That would have been quite the fortunate play for the Mavericks early in this game, but it is ruled incomplete, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 20 from the Dorman 24-yard line.
And in that position, for that pass to be complete, he's got to maintain control, and he's got to make what they call a football move down the field to have full possession of that ball and for it to be considered a catch. But there, as he made a move upfield, the ball did come loose as he was hit, and that's why it was an incomplete pass.
Hill now on 3rd down, takes a snap. Looks left side this time, fires that way, and over his head and incomplete. The intended receiver there was Daquan Green, the senior. And it'll bring up 4th down here, and the punt team is on for Dorman.
And Malden just looks like, like they're competing for, one of the best teams in the state right now, because the way they've played on their opening offensive drive and right here with this defense has been phenomenal. If they keep this up, we could see the Malden Mavericks taking down the Dorman Cavaliers tonight.
The punt from Corey Arnold is a good one. Fair catch signaled for and made at the Malden 42-yard line by Hunter Dawsey, as the Mavericks will take over on offense there. Let's see if they can do what they did this past Monday against Wade Hampton, and just come out and just continually score and really put it on them and put this Dorman team in a hole early on here.
Well, the key for them, of course, is going to be that run game with Jason Labrador, Avarius Blakely, and to see Draquan Harris get it done on the ground as well.
Snap to Harris. He fakes the handoff to Labrador this time, now looking to throw deep. Scrambles, throws over the middle for Atkins, who makes the catch at the 35-yard line into Dorman territory. A nice play there, and a big 1st down for Malden as they work on that half to the 50-yard line for the 2nd time in this game.
And I knew we were going to be calling his name as he got 100-plus receiving yards on Monday's game against Wade Hampton, and right there with the big catch for the big gain and the 1st down as this Malden offense gets rolling.
Harris now in the same formation. Dawsey a lone receiver to the right. Jason Labrador still out there in the backfield with Harris. Takes a snap, hands to Labrador, runs left side, finds a hole, picks up about 4 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 6 from the Dorman 31-yard line now. Labrador had a very nice game on Monday. We named him one of our stars of the week. He rushed for 2 touchdowns. 2 out of his 3 on the season. Harris now taking the snap. Hands to Labrador again, who tries to find a hole up the middle and is met at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard on the play there, but it'll bring up 3rd down and about 5 now for the Mavericks. Tackle there made by Wesley Robinson for the Cavaliers.
And yet another big 3rd and long here for the Mavericks as they're going to try to continue this offensive drive here.
Harris now taking the snap in the shotgun. Rolls right this time. Looking for Dawsey. Throws that way. Dawsey makes the catch at the 21-yard line and falls out of bounds. And it is good enough for another Malden 1st down, and a big one on that play.
And that just shows you how much of an athlete Hunter Dawsey is in the spring to stay in shape. He does run those hurdles for the Malden track team. But right there able to showcase his hops and get up there for that phenomenal catch.
Harris now 1st and 10 from the Dorman 21. He rolls left this time, looking downfield for a receiver. Throws for Atkins, who almost makes the catch. It tips off of his hands and incomplete. And it'll bring up 2nd down and 10 now from the 22.
And with the wet conditions, it is going to be hard for the receivers on both sides to, haul in some of these passes, because it has been raining most of the day here in Malden, and we could see a little rain pop up here later tonight during this ball game.
Harris now takes the snap, drops back, takes it himself. He runs up the middle, has some space, gets to the 17 where he's slung around and tackled down. It'll bring up 3rd down and 8 now from the 20-yard line. A nice tackle there made by Azaria Vasquez, his 2nd of the ball game.
And so far this Dorman defense has done a pretty good job of containing Draquan Harris on the ground and, forcing him to have to make good passes down the field and, not allowing him to run and get out of the pocket and pick up yards.
Harris now rolling right on the snap, throws it into the ground and incomplete. The intended receiver was Labrador there as he was quickly pressured after the snap. It'll bring up 4th down now, as it'll be interesting to see if we get to see Standridge come onto the field and try this, what seems about 38-yard field goal attempt. It will be Standridge here getting the call. Harris to be the holder. His second field goal attempt of the season. He made his first one at TL Hanna to give them a 17-14 lead here. He tries to make it a 10-0 lead now. Snap. Kick is up, and it is no good off the upright. And what looked like was a solid kick had to go into the wind and hits off the left upright and falls incomplete. And now Dorman will take over on offense from their own 20-yard line.
That can be deflating for an offense to, put up such a good drive and get yourselves in a position to score and, not being able to capitalize. So it'll be interesting to see how this Malden defense responds to that.
A tough offensive drive there, as it looked like they had a lot of strengths but are unable to convert. Now Shenard Bain gets the call here on the first snap on offense for Dorman. He runs right side and gets out of bounds after he picks up about 9 on the play. It's not going to be good enough for a first down, though, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 1 from the 29-yard line. Colin Hill now in the shotgun with 2 receivers to his left and 1 to his right, and he has a receiver at the tight end position now. Takes the snap, hands to Bain again, who tries to run it up the middle and loses a yard on the play. A nice defensive stand there for the Mavericks, and it brings up 3rd down. It'll be about 3rd and 3 now for Dorman. They send 3 receivers to the left side this time and 1 to the right. Bain and Hill in the backfield. Bain to Hill's right this time. Hill now taking the snap in the shotgun. Drops back, looks left side. Under some pressure, throws and hits Green at the 41-yard line. It is enough for the first down after he slips and falls. And now Dorman tries to get across the 50-yard line for the first time in this game.
And after a few missed opportunities on pass attempts by Colin Hill, right there he's able to fire a good pass in and find his man down the field for a good gain. And, Dorman looks like they're driving right now with a little over 3 minutes left to play here in this first quarter.
Colin Hill now taking the snap, faking the handoff. He's going to throw right side for Tyreek Long. Hits him and he has some space. Down to the 30, 25, 20. Caught at the 15-yard line. A nice tackle made there for the Mavericks. Tackle made there by Vonyel Coleman. We saw him have a big night at Wade Hampton.
It looked like Holden Gross, the junior for the Malden defense, slipped and fell in coverage on that play, and it led to a big gain there for this Dorman offense.
Colin Hill now entering the Malden red zone for the first time in this ball game. 1st and 10 from the Malden 14. He flips the ball this time to Bain, who runs it down to about the 6-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd down and 5 here for Dorman.
After struggling on their initial drive, this Dorman offense out here driving now in the Malden red zone, at about the 8-yard line. It's going to be interesting to see, if they can capitalize and, get it in the end zone or if they'll have to settle for a field goal.
Hill now, 2 receivers to the right and 1 to the left. He takes a snap, rolls right, looking towards the end zone, throws for Long, tipped and incomplete. Nice coverage there by Coleman, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 5 here from the 8-yard line.
And if the Malden defense could come up with a stop here on 3rd and 5, it would be huge to stop this Dorman offensive momentum here and force a field goal attempt. And, that would really restore a lot of confidence in this defense and in that Malden offense.
Hill now working from the left hash mark. He now has 3 receivers to the right and none to the left. Takes a snap, looks for the end zone again as the ball is tipped but caught in the end zone by Taekwon Green, as it'll be interesting to see if it is ruled a touchdown, as it's not. They say he was down at the 1-yard line, and it'll bring up 1st down and goal here from the 1, as you assume that they're just going to hand the ball to Bain and have it run it right in, but looks like Taekwon Green got into the end zone there, but they say he did not. And it'll be 1st down and goal here for Dorman. Snap now, handed to Bain, who pushes forward into the end zone for the touchdown, and the Cavaliers now with the PAT on the way has a chance to even up this ball game.
And it's going to be interesting to see how this Malden offense responds to Dorman being able to drive down the field here, and with the extra point on the way, we could see Dorman start to really come out and play like they have been these first 5-6 weeks of the season.
PAT attempt is up and good, and the Cavaliers have evened it up at 7 now with 1 minute and 58 seconds to go here in this first quarter. The Mavericks now, it'll be interesting to see if they can answer this Dorman offense. Coming out after Dorman marches downfield and scores. It looked like they had a chance to take that 14-0 lead, but they come up short, and it might come back to cost them.
Yeah, and that looks like it really gave Dorman a lot of momentum coming out on offense after, making a stand on defense, forcing the field goal attempt, and then, it being missed. I think it, provided a lot of momentum for their offense, and, it led to a touchdown drive. So, like you said, it's going to be interesting to see how this Malden offense responds.
Atkins and Blakely again in the backfield here for Malden on this kickoff. It'll be Davis Rogers, the junior kicker, here on his 2nd kickoff of the night for Dorman. The kick, another boomer. That'll be caught by Atkins at about the 10-yard line. He runs now towards the middle of the field at the 25, has some space, gets up to the 30, up to the 35, where he's tackled down. A nice return there by Atkins, and Malden now setting up at their own 35-yard line.
And as this offense takes the field again, it's going to be interesting to see if this Dorman defense can keep Draquan Harris contained on the ground. They've done it thus far, and it'll be interesting to see if they can keep that trend up.
Harris now with 2 receivers either side, and Blakely returns to the backfield. He looks left side for Isaiah Sullivan, who makes the catch at the 40-yard line, and he's tackled down there after a gain of 5. So it'll bring up 2nd and 5 now for Malden. Jake Terry and Hunter Dawsey will set up on the right side of the football, and it'll be Sullivan along with Atkins on the left. Atkins in motion for this play. He flips to him, runs it right side, breaks a tackle, cuts up, gets up to the 45-yard line after Dawsey got in his way there. It'll be interesting to see if it's a 1st down. It's very close. They're going to say he's about a half a yard shy. It'll bring up 3rd down and inches here for Malden. Blakely staying on the field at running back. Terry in motion. He sends him to the left side. Harris takes the snap. Hands to Blakely again. He runs it right side. Has some space. Gets up to the 50. Into Dorman territory. Down to the 45. Trips at the 40 as they rule him down at the 38-yard line. A nice pickup there for Avarius Blakely. And now Malden will have a fresh set of downs.
Once again, we're seeing Avarius Blakely show out in this Malden run game, as he's really had a big impact so far. He was a huge part of their scoring drive, and he's getting it going here on this drive.
Harris takes the snap, drops back now, Looks right side, and he hits Isaiah Sullivan there Jake Terry on the reception. Catches the ball around the 33-yard line. Will bring up 2nd and 5 now for Malden. Harris on 2nd and 5 here. Takes the snap. Hands to Blakely this time. He runs the right side, has some space. Gets down to the 30, 25, 20. Cuts back down to the 15, down to the 11-yard line. As he picks up another Malden first down as they work towards the Dorman end zone again here.
And once again, we're calling Avarius Blakely's name as, he's just finding a way to get it done on the ground for the Malden Mavericks and get this offense going back into the red zone.
Harris will set up now with 2 receivers either side again. Blakely continues to play as well. Harris now with 5 seconds to go in this first quarter. The clock winds down as it looks like they're going to let it run out. And that'll do it for this first quarter. The Mavericks coming out on offense and scoring. Dorman answers after a big stop on defense, and we find ourselves tied up at 7. Malden threatening, though, to end this first quarter. They have played very well so far. We're going to take a break. Stay tuned here on the Malden High School Broadcast Network. We're back here on the Malden High School Broadcast Network. Start of the second quarter as the Mavericks threatening. Snap to Harris. He throws for Blakely this time as the ball falls incomplete. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10 here from the 13-yard line. Harris now sends 3 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. As he moves Blakely to his right now and takes the snap. Throws a screen pass to Atkins, tipped and incomplete. And it'll bring up 3rd down and 10 now from the 13-yard line.
And after that short intermission in between quarters, it looks like this Malden offense is a little out of sync here, getting right back into the action here in the second quarter. So it'll be an interesting 3rd down and 10 for this Malden offense.
Harris now in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Looks this time for Dawsey. Throws towards the corner of the end zone. Leaps and falls incomplete. Nice coverage there by Tyreek Long on the Dorman defense, and it'll bring up 4th down and 10 now from the 13. The field goal unit is on again here. Standard kicking into the wind this time. It'll be interesting to see if he can make it going west to east. His first kick was definitely kicked well enough. It just was a little bit wide left and hit off the upright. Snap, kick is up, and it is good this time from Standridge, and the Mavericks have taken a 10-7 lead in this ball game.
A good job there by this Malden offense and this kicking unit for the Mavericks as they're able to, even though they weren't able to get the touchdown, they were able to capitalize and get some points on the board against a very, very good Dorman defense.
As we get to see Malden's defense for the 3rd time now, they were able to come out and make a stop their first time out, but the Dorman receivers Tyreek Long and Daquan Green wore him down, and they were able to get into the end zone to tie up the ball game.
And Shenard Bain was a big part of that Dorman offense as well, as he was able to get it done on the ground in their last offensive drive.
Standridge's second kickoff of the game now. We saw the pooch on the first. It'll be interesting to see if we see it again here. The kick. This one he booms deep and into the end zone. It'll be ruled a touchback, and Dorman will take over from their own 20-yard line.
And back on the field is the senior Colin Hill for this Dorman offense, as he's going to try and, lead this offense once again to another scoring drive as he was able to do last time they took the field back in the first quarter.
Dorman now coming out on offense. They're going to start with 2 receivers either side here. Colin Hill now in the shotgun to start. He takes the first snap of this drive. There's a screen pass this time, and it's tipped and falls out of the hands of Bryson Woodruff, the junior wide receiver. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10 now from the 20.
And we saw a few Malden receivers struggling trying to haul in a few passes, and right there, we see this, Dorman receiving core, struggling a little bit to try and haul in some of these passes.
Hill now in the same formation. Takes the snap, drops back, looks left side. He's going to throw the screen pass this time to Bain, who has some space, gets up to the 30-yard line and runs out of bounds. He picks up the first down here for Dorman as they work near the 50-yard line. He might be a yard short after the run. It looks like he was, and it'll bring up 3rd down and about a yard here for Dorman. Bryson Woodruff subbed out of the ball game, and they bring in Stone Pellegrino, the wide receiver, who also plays baseball for Dorman. Snap here to Hill. He hands to Bain, who cuts up the middle, and he's tackled behind the line of scrimmage. As he made a leaping attempt, it was close. But I don't think he got the first down. They say he did not, and Dorman's offense is going to stay out here and go for it on this 4th and short situation.
This is a call that can really go either way. With the field position they're in, if they do turn it over here on downs, it gives Malden some prime field position to come in and score. But, it is 4th and very short, so, this could turn out to be a very positive move for the Dorman Cavaliers.
As a timeout called here by Dorman, they're going to talk things over here as they think about going for it here on 4th down. Maybe that play was just simply to try to pull Malden off sides and get the automatic first down, which they were unable to do, but it does not work, and they might go ahead and punt it away here.
And I think you're right on that one, Trey. I think it's too early to be trying to go for it on 4th and short right here. Where they are on the field, maybe if they were more around midfield or in Malden territory, it'd seem a little more reasonable. But, with 4th and short on their own 30-yard line, it could prove to be costly for the Dorman Cavaliers.
The Dorman offense now on the field again as Hill rushes up to the line of scrimmage. Now he's going to go under center for this play. He takes it himself and pushes forward, gets the first down on the play. As the call there now was a successful one. A nice play call there to get Dorman the first down. Colin Hill was 3 for 6 in the first quarter with 65 yards in the air. Hill now with 2 receivers either side and Bain to his right. He takes the snap from his own 32. Drops back, looking over the middle now. Throws, and this ball is picked off by Jonathan LaFoy. At about the 40-yard line, he runs it down to the Dorman 35, and the Malden offense will have a chance here to add on to this lead. A nice play there by Jonathan LaFoy.
And we've seen this all year from Jonathan LaFoy. He had 2 pick sixes in the Woodmont game, compiled a few turnovers in that Lawrence game, and right here against Dorman, one of the best teams in the state, able to force a turnover with that interception.
Harris now will take over, and he'll send 2 receivers to his right and 1 to his left. He takes a snap, Hands to Labrador, who flips to Atkins, who flips back to Harris now, who's going to run it himself up the middle, slips and falls down way behind the line of scrimmage. It looks like it'll be a loss of about 7 there on the play, as it was quite the trick play. Looked like it was about to work out for the Mavericks, but Harris slipped before he could gain any yards or even get back to the line of scrimmage there. Harris now, same formation after losing 6. It'll be 2nd down and 16 now from the Dorman 38-yard line. He takes a snap, hands the ball to Labrador this time, who has some space up the middle. It gets tackled down to about the 30-yard line. He picks up about 9 on the play. It'll bring up 3rd down and 6 now for Malden at the Dorman 30.
You know, right now, another big 3rd and long for the Malden offense as they try to keep this drive alive. And, you know, it's going to be interesting to see the play call here by the Mavericks.
Harris now alone in the backfield. 3 receivers to his left and 2 to his right. He throws the left side, this time for Atkins, and hits him at the 20. Cuts back. They say he stepped out of bounds, but a nice play there for Malden as they pick up another 1st down, working into the Dorman red zone now.
Once again, Matt Atkins getting it done on the receiving side of this Malden offense. And, you know, Draquan Harris able to deliver a beautiful pass to Matt Atkins. Matt Atkins able to haul it in, you know, get that 1st down.
Snap to Harris now. He hands to Labrador, who slips at the line of scrimmage. There's a flag on the play, as we've seen a lot of slipping and falling so far in this game. Labrador has slipped twice. Harris has slipped. We've seen Atkins slip. A lot of slipping and falling with the wet conditions here, as that could get worse as the ball game moves on, as we might see some added on rain later on. The call is a hold against the Mavericks. We'll back them up 10 yards now to the 30, where it'll be 1st down and 20 for Malden. Blakely now onto the field. Labrador now onto the field for Malden. Atkins, Dawsey, and Terry to the right side. Isaiah Sullivan to the left, the lone receiver there. Harris taking the snap. He looks left side as under some pressure, throws for Labrador, who makes the catch at the 5-yard line, where he steps out of bounds, and it's good enough for a Malden 1st down. It'll be 1st down and goal from the 6-yard line. A nice play there by Harris and Labrador. And
a lot of play action and a lot of option plays here in this spread offense, and it is working right now for the Malden Mavericks here in this 2nd quarter, as they're driving right now into the Dorman red zone.
As an official's timeout here, they're going to have to measure it here, as it was very close to the 1st down marker. They say he stepped out of bounds at about the 9-yard line. But it is very close, definitely, as the chains are out. And the ruling, it is good enough for the Malden 1st down. It'll be 1st down and goal from the 9-yard line now, as we get to see if Malden can add on to this lead here and try to put one of the better teams in the state in a hole in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, and, you know, good job by this Malden offense, you know, able to convert. And, you know, now at 1st and goal here is going to be a huge next couple plays to see if the Mavericks can put Dorman in a deep hole here early on.
A light rain starts to fall at Freeman Field now, as 1st down and goal. Harris with 2 receivers either side. He has Atkins in motion. He moves him to the right side. He's going to take it himself, runs right side, breaks the tackle, gets down to the 5, tackled there after picking up about 4 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and goal. As the Malden's offense has been running a lot of trips right this game so far, as we saw it against Wade Hampton, very successful. When you move back into the right side, it's such a threat with so many good receivers on this team. Harris now Sends Labrador now in motion to the wide receiver spot. He throws left side for Labrador and makes the catch and gets into the end zone for the touchdown. And the Mavericks have taken a 16-7 lead. Extra point on the way.
And once again, this fast-paced spread offense has gotten the defense, a little mixed up. And with Labrador in motion there with so many receivers out on the field, it did cause a little confusion for this Dorman secondary. And right there, the Mavericks able to cash in with the touchdown.
Standard's extra point try. The snap, kick is up, and it is good. And the Mavericks have taken a 17-7 lead here over Dorman. This offense, really, we've seen them do this before. This is not what we saw in the Hillcrest game. What we thought we would see, but they just could not do this. They could not convert. They could not get first downs, and they are doing that so far. And they find themselves with a lead over the Dorman Cavaliers here.
And this Malden defense also putting quite a bit of pressure on Colin Hill and, forcing a lot of turnovers, with the one on Jonathan LaFoy. So, he's able to get the interception and, it'll be very, very interesting to see how this defense holds up.
Dorman sends Eli Buckley along with Quincy Nash in the backfield to receive this kickoff here. Ryan Standridge put one in the end zone last time for the touchback. We'll see if he does that again. The kickoff, another good one. This one knuckles and hits around the 15 and rolls into the end zone for the touchback, as it looked like Quincy Nash tried to return the football, but it rolls right past him and into the end zone, and Dorman will take over at their own 20. This Dorman team so far in this game looking somewhat unfocused. They've really had trouble seeing the football, it seems. We'll see if that continues as the ball game moves along. Colin Hill in the shotgun. He has Bain behind him. Fakes the flip, now hands it to Bain, who runs up the middle. Picks up 4 on the play, where he's tackled down around the 24-yard line. 2nd and 6 now for Dorman.
And, it'll be interesting to see, as this game goes on, if the Malden defense can, keep this Dorman run game on hold all night long.
3 receivers to the right and 1 to the left now for Hill. He drops back, looks over the middle, and finds a receiver there. It's Tyreek Long, who picks up the first down and more. Gets all the way up to his own 44-yard line. A nice play there for the leading receiver on this Dorman offense. He had 6 touchdowns so far this season. He tries to add on to that. Hill now will continue in this modified I formation. He now sends 3 receivers to his left and 1 to his right. Takes a snap. Fakes a screen pass, hands to Bain again, who breaks a tackle, gets up to the 45-50, into Malden territory, down to the 35-30, 25-20, cuts back, trips down around the 18-yard line. A nice gain there for Shenard Bain, and Dorman sets up in the red zone.
I mentioned it earlier in this drive, this Malden defense is going to have to step up and stop this Dorman run game, because if they let Shenard Bain run like that, for the next 2.5 quarters of this ball game, it is going to be a rough night for these Malden Mavericks.
Same formation here for Dorman. This time, Bain stands to Hill's right. Takes a snap, hands to Bain again, who's caught in the backfield and tackled for loss there. A nice play made by Keon Dawson. And it'll bring up 2nd down and 14 now here for Dorman at the Malden 22-yard line. Hill now, 3 receivers on his right side and 1 on his left. He now takes a snap in the shotgun, drops back, looks left side, now looks right side, and finds a receiver. This time it's Stone Pellegrino, who's tackled down around 16-yard line. Nice tackle there by Holden Gross. It brings up 3rd down and 9 here for Dorman. And a big 3rd down in the second quarter as they try to cut down this lead. Dorman now running the trips left formation. Hill in the shotgun, takes a snap, looks left side, throws towards the end zone, and the ball falls incomplete. The intended receiver on that play was Tyreek Long. And almost a really nice sliding catch there, but it brings up 4th down and 9. And it'll be here. Hill staying on the field. They're going to go for it, it seems. As Colin Hill's going to be alone in the backfield now. 3 receivers to the left and 2 to the right this time. Big 4th down here in this second quarter for Hill. He now starts to walk towards the sideline, and Malden calls the first time out of this half as they want to talk things over.
And on that last play, we saw Colin Hill throw a low pass and another missed opportunity for this Dorman offense to get on the board. As we've seen a few pass plays go incomplete where, they could have gotten big gains, and right there, that was a huge opportunity squandered by the low throw, and, it can be a little tough with these wet conditions to try and throw, a solid pass, and I think that's what happened here with Colin Hill.
5 minutes and 2 seconds to go here in this first half. The Mavericks lead at 17-7. But a big play on the way here for this Dorman offense. We look at scores around the area. Last night it was the number 12 in the nation, Spartanburg Vikings, defeating the Burns Rebels 17-7 in that ball game, as we might see the same final here if the defenses can prevail. 4 receivers to the left now and 1 to the right. Hill takes a snap, looks left, throws towards the end zone as there's a flag on the play. Ball tipped and incomplete. But the call seems to be against Malden, as that's going to be a big break for Dorman if they can get it here. The call is going to be a hold against Malden. Wow. That's a tough one.
Yeah, and that could prove to be a costly penalty because, in a 4th down situation where you're able to force a turnover against such a good offense, it is going to be a little tough to, see them get a second chance here, off of a penalty. So it's going to be interesting to see, how this Malden defense responds to that.
It's half the distance to the goal, so it will bring up a 4th down and 1 here, but Chenard Bain being such a strong running back, it'll be probably him running the football up the middle, as they're going to measure here. Now with the penalty, it gives both teams a chance to talk things over. Chains are out, and the measurement is going to go in Malden's favor. It is not good enough for a first down. It'll bring up 4th down and inches now from the Malden 8-yard line. So another big 4th down as we get to see if the Malden defense can now hold Dorman in short field position. Colin Hill and this Dorman offense back onto the field now. We saw them run 4 receivers to the left on the 4th and long play. Now with 4th and short, they're going to run 2 receivers to the left and no receivers to the right. Now in the I formation. Hill takes a snap, hands to Bain, who's caught at the line of scrimmage, and he's not going to have enough for the first down. The Malden defense makes a huge stop here, and they will take over from their own 10-yard line.
And that is a huge, huge play for this Malden defense as they're able to, stuff Shenard Bain there on the 4th and short. We saw Dorman convert on 4th and short earlier in this game. And now, this Malden defense coming up with a huge stop, and they are going to get a chance here to extend this lead even more against a very, very good Dorman team.
Malden comes out with 3 receivers to the right and 1 to the left. Harris takes a snap, hands to Blakely, who runs it around the left side, has a hole, and gets all the way up to the 20-yard line. Gain of 9 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 1 here for Malden.
And Avarius Blakely having himself a game so far here in the first half. As you know, we've seen him run all over this Dorman Cavalier defense.
Flags fly in now as the Dorman players arguing with the refs the call. So it probably is going to go against the Cavaliers unsportsmanlike conduct. Going to be the call. It is a personal foul on both teams, and the penalties will offset now. It'll still be 2nd and 1 here for Malden from their own 20-yard line. Malden now will have 2 receivers to either side. Jason Labrador enters the ball game at the running back position. Harris takes a snap, drops back, looks left side. He's going to run it himself up the middle as there is a flag on the play, and he's tackled right around the line of scrimmage there for no gain. The flag is a hold call on the Mavericks. Tough penalty is it backs him up 10 yards. It'll now be 2nd down and 10 from their own 11-yard line.
We've seen quite a few penalty flags fly here tonight, as we just saw offsetting personal foul calls, a holding call here, defensive holding on the Mavericks on Dorman's last offensive drive, a defensive pass interference by the Dorman Cavaliers. So there's been a lot of penalties so far here, and that's had a big, big impact on this game so far.
Malden is going to have to start from their 8 now on 2nd down and 12, as it is 10 yards from the spot. But definitely something that this offense can handle. We've seen them be very explosive so far in this game. Same formation for Harris. This time he has Jake Terry in motion. Takes a snap. Hands to Blakely. They fumble, but there's another flag that rules the play dead. As it's going to be a false start call here on the Mavericks. Another tough penalty in this set of downs backs them up even further. They're going to start from their own 5 now. 2nd down and 20.
And 3 penalties so far for this Malden offense on this drive, and it seems to be a killer for them, as it's, backed them up quite a bit, and, it could prove to be very costly, as after such a great defensive stand by this Malden defense, could just turn into nothing, as they now face a 2nd and long here.
Malden uses their 2nd time out of the half. They lead this ball game 17-7. 4 minutes and 12 seconds to go, if you're just joining us here. This offense has been very explosive so far. We saw them score in their first drive. Then they had a field goal hit off the left goal post. But they would come back out. Standridge would get another opportunity. Hit his 2nd attempt of the night. And then after a huge Jason Labrador interception, they would score again. And that's been the summary so far. Harris will take the ball from his own 5-yard line. 2nd down and about 17 now for the Mavericks. Avarius Blakely back into the ball game here for Malden. Harris takes a snap, drops back. He's in his own end zone. As he steps up to about the 2, throws deep now for Atkins, who's being held on to as no flag is thrown. And the ball falls incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd down and long here for Malden.
There seemed to be quite a lot of contact by that Dorman defender there on Matt Atkins, but no flag there by the ref. So an interesting no call there as Malden faces third and very long here, backed up, up on their own end zone.
Harris now, two receivers either side. He moves Blakely to his left side at the receiver position as well, and another false start call here as the flags fly, and Blakely stepped in front of the line of scrimmage as he tried to become another receiver. Tough call as Malden now will have to move a couple yards closer, but it really won't make that much of a difference.
And I don't think we've seen this Malden team, commit as many penalties as we've seen so far tonight, because it has really, put a damper on this offensive drive for the Mavs.
Harris now be alone in the backfield. Three receivers to his right, two to his left. Takes the snap, looks right side. He throws that way, this time for Dawsey, who leaps, and the ball is tipped and incomplete at about the 40-yard line. It'll bring up 4th down and 20 from the Mavericks' 3-yard line, and Hunter Bowden will definitely come on here and punt the football away.
And a very, very dangerous pass by Draquan Harris, as Hunter Dawsey was covered very well on that play, and still throwing it up. That ball was almost intercepted by the Dorman Cavaliers, but luckily it wasn't, and they'll have to punt it away here on 4th and long.
Snap. An okay punt here by Bowden. It hits it about the 25, takes a Malden bounce, and rolls all the way up to the 34-yard line where Dorman will take over. Still good field position here for Colin Hill in this offense. As Colin Hill so far looking pretty solid. He, in the first quarter, threw for 65 yards, threw a 46-yard pass, which was his highlight. He comes out with two receivers to his left and one to his right in the I formation again here with Bain. His first snap of this possession. Fakes a flip to Bain, now looking left side for Pellegrino. The ball falls incomplete and out of bounds. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10 now. Dorman now subbing in Eli Buckley at the wide receiver position for this snap. They're going to run three receivers to the left side now and one to the right. Hill and Bain continue in the shotgun. 3 minutes and 43 seconds to go here in this first half. As Hill now taking the snap, looking left side under some pressure. He's going to have to throw a little dump-off pass to Shenard Bain, but it's tipped and falls incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd down and 10 now from the Malden 35-yard line.
And that's tough because that would have been a solid gain for this Dorman offense, but Shenard Bain unable to hold on to the pass coming in from Colin Hill, and now they'll have to face 3rd and 10 here as, will look like good field position, could turn out to, not amount to much at all for this Dorman offense.
Hill now in the same formation here on 3rd down and 10. Heavy coverage from this Malden defense. Hill now looking over the middle for Tyreek Long, and it is tipped and incomplete, almost intercepted by Jonathan LaFoy. Nice coverage there by him. It'll bring up 4th down and 10. And it looks like Dorman will now send out Corey Arnold on to punt.
And Colin Hill seems to be struggling here a little bit with the wet conditions. We've seen him underthrow a few passes. We've seen him overthrow a few passes. And right there, an overthrow from him.
This punt a good one as it's going to hit it about the Malden 18, rolls down to the 5-yard line, 6-yard line, where it's tapped down. And now Malden will have a chance to score here, probably their last of the half, with about 3 minutes to go.
And once again, this Malden offense pinned deep in their own territory as they're around their own 6-yard line. And it'll be interesting to see if they can put some more points up on the board here and extend that lead right before we get to halftime.
Malden will start out here with 3 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. Snap to Harris. He hands to Labrador this time. He runs it right side. Pushes for about 3 yards on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 7 now for Malden at their own 10-yard line.
It is very odd that, we could have just started this, football game with regular weather, but with the weather conditions, we did push it up to 6:30. So very odd situation here at Freeman Field.
As Harris throwing over the middle on that play for Dawsey. He's nailed as he tries to reel it in. He's unable to. It'll bring up 3rd down and 7 now for Malden. A little bit shaken up on the play, but he is going to stay in the ball game. Malden now will have 2 receivers to either side. Labrador stays in the game. Big 3rd down here. They don't want to give Dorman too much time to score before the half. Dorman will receive the opening kickoff of the second half. Harris is going to be alone in the backfield this time. Snap to him. He rolls right side this time, looks to take it himself, now throws for Matt Atkins, who makes a catch at the 25, up to the 30, has some space, up to the 45-yard line where he's tackled out of bounds. A nice play there. Malden picks up another 1st down.
Another explosive play by Matt Atkins there as Draquan Harris is able to find him down the field. He's able to pick up quite a few yards after the catch as this Malden offense is rolling here late in this first half.
Malden will start from their own 44-yard line, 1st down and 10. 3 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. Dawsey, the lone receiver, to the right side. Harris takes a snap. No, he does not. And a nice fake there that pulls the Dorman defense off sides. As that'll move it up 5 yards. It'll be 1st down and 5 now from about the 49-yard line.
As we've seen a few penalties kill this Malden team, this could be a big penalty here. As it gives Malden 5 extra yards and a 1st and short here late in this first half to tack on some more points to this lead.
Harris now taking the snap, fakes again. Maybe could get a little 2 in a row there, but he does not. And they'll try again. Harris now taking the snap this time. Looks left side, now over the middle under some pressure. Throws for Jake Terry, but the ball falls incomplete. He wants a pass interference call, not going to get it. It'll bring up 2nd down and 5 now.
And once again, quite a bit of contact there by the Dorman defenders, but no call from the referees. And it'll be 2nd and short for the Malden Mavericks coming up here, and it'll be interesting to see the play call here late in this first half.
Harris now 2 receivers either side this time, along with Labrador in the backfield with him. He takes a snap, hands to Labrador, runs up the middle, has some space, pushes for the 1st down, and I think he got it. It is close to the marker into Dorman territory. 2 minutes and 27 seconds to go here in the first half. The clock winds. Official timeout. They're going to bring out the chains for the 3rd time in this game. As a very, very close play here again. It does not look like it's going to be enough from where the spot is, even after Labrador's leap. As they're going to say here with the chain measurement that it is not enough. Inches shy. It'll bring up 4th down and inches now for Malden. 3rd down and inches at the Dorman 47-yard line. They're going to go from the right hash here. Harris will have Labrador in the backfield with him again. Atkins and Rogers to his left side. Terry and Dawsey to the right. Harris taking the snap now. on 3rd and inches. He hands to Labrador again, who runs left side, pushes for the first down, and he did get the first down on that play. Gets down to about the Dorman 45-yard line to move the chains there for Malden. Awkwardly hit there, but he gets up all right and will stay in the game.
And the Mavs able to pick up a first down there and keep this drive going as, they're at the Dorman 45 and they're going to look to tack onto this lead, and we're just going to see if this offense can keep rolling here.
Snap to Harris. He drops back, looks left side under some pressure now, escapes, now rolls right, and is going to have to throw towards the Dorman sideline near Jake Terry, but incomplete as the clock winds under 2 minutes.
Under a lot of pressure there was Draquan Harris as this Dorman defensive front was able to break through there, and we haven't really seen him under too much pressure. This Dorman front has been able to get to him a few times, but for the most part Draquan Harris has had quite enough time to throw the ball, but right there they're able to break through and brings up 2nd and 10.
Same formation here for Malden on 2nd down and 10. Harris takes the snap. There's a screen pass to Labrador, who gets down to the 44. 2 flags fly in on the play. And both teams just throwing up their hands after they see another penalty marker hit the turf, as we've seen so many this quarter. As it looks like it's going to be a holding call on the Mavericks, which will back them up 10 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 20 from their own 45-yard line. As the Mavericks here now having to work from their half of the 50-yard line, might just try to run the ball a little bit and knock the clock out of the equation as they want to hold off Dorman. Here, keep it a 2-possession game going into the second half. Harris now with 3 receivers to his right and 1 to his left. Rogers, the lone receiver, to the left side, as Blakely re-enters the ball game at running back. Harris takes a snap. There's a screen pass to Dawsey this time, who has some space, gets up to the 50-yard line, up down into Dorman territory, tackled around the 48. It'll bring up 3rd down and 14 here for Malden.
And right there, another good gain by Hunter Dawsey as we're getting into the closing minute of this first half. But, we could really see just Malden just starting to run down this clock to not give Dorman, another opportunity here in the first half.
They say he stepped out of bounds around his own 49-yard line, which will make it 3rd down and 15 now for Malden. As 45.7 seconds to go here, as Malden will take their final time out of the half. They lead this one 17-7. They could score before the half ends, but it is looking unlikely at this point as they face 3rd down and 15 from their own 49-yard line with only 45 seconds to go.
Yeah, it would be quite a long conversion for the Mavericks here with, 3rd and long here, and, with only about 45 seconds left in this first half, we could see them just start to run down this clock.
The Mavericks, if they can pick up this win, will advance to 4-2 on the season here. This would be such a big region win early in this region schedule. Harris will keep the same formation, except Atkins is now on the left side, and Terry and Dawsey are on the right side. Rogers joins Atkins on the left as well. Harris moves Blakely to the left side as a receiver now. He takes a snap. Drops back, looking left side. He's going to fire over the middle now and hits Atkins at the 40. Jukes and gets down to the 34-yard line. It is good enough for a Malden first down, and a nice pickup of 17 there for the Mavericks to get the first down.
What a play and what a conversion for these Malden Mavericks, as they very well could get a chance to score here before the end of this first half.
That play taking 8 seconds off the clock now. Harris takes a snap, rolls right this time, looking for Dawsey. Throws that way, but out of bounds as he gets pressured. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10 now from the Dorman 34-yard line.
And you see after that conversion, this Malden offense being very, very hasty with under a minute to go, trying to get a few more points on the board.
As here, a personal foul call on the Mavericks. That's a tough penalty because now they find themselves way out of field goal range. They're going to have to go from their 50-yard line. 1st down and about 25 now for Malden. Harris, 3 receivers to his left and 2 to his right. He's alone in the backfield. Takes a snap, drops back. Looking over the middle, hits Blakely at the 45. He jukes and he's met by a wave of Dorman defenders around the Dorman 42-yard line. Picks up about 5 or 6 on the play. It brings up 2nd down and about 18 now for Malden.
And with no timeouts, this clock running at under 10 seconds, this could be the last play here for the Malden Mavericks.
Harris will spike the ball to stop the clock for Malden. It'll bring up 3rd down and 20, but a smart play there with no timeouts left.
Yeah, and that'll give them one last opportunity to maybe throw up a prayer to the end zone or maybe try a trick play and get a few more points on the board here before the end of the first half.
We've seen a few miracle plays at the end of half so far for Malden. In the Hillcrest game, Matt Atkins with the 75-yard touchdown reception at the end of that half. Harris now with 4.8 seconds to go takes a snap. Drops back now, is just going to throw the bomb. He's under some pressure, runs himself actually, gets down to the 35, 30, down to the 25, but he will be tackled out of bounds, and that'll end the first half of play. The Malden offense coming out and making a statement, along with the defense holding Dorman only to 7 points in this first half. Malden leads at 17-7 going to this half.
And what a display of offense and defense from this Malden team that we've seen so far, and really a surprise how well they've been able to play against this very, very good Dorman football team.
We're going to take a break here at the half. Stay tuned here on the Malden High School Broadcast Network. Your score is 17-7 in favor of the Mavs. We're back here on the Malden High School Broadcast Network. Start of the second half. The Mavericks lead the Dorman Cavaliers 17-7. A very interesting first half. The Mavericks coming out strong and really making a statement to start.
Yeah, and this Malden defense has played exceptionally well. Making a few stops, and Jonathan LaFoy with the 1 interception. But there have been quite a few penalties on both sides. Dorman and Malden both committing a lot of penalties. It'll be interesting to see how that aspect of the game plays out here in the second half.
The opening kickoff of the second half is a solid one, a short kick. It is caught about the 27-yard line and returned all the way up to about the 35 by Tyreek Long. And that's where the Dorman offense will take over to start out this second half.
Yeah, and with Colin Hill taking the field again, he's going to look to really, get this offense started and, kick it into a whole nother gear from what we saw in the first half.
3 receivers to the right and 1 to the left to start out here for Dorman. Colin Hill in the shotgun with Shenard Bain in the backfield with him. He takes the first snap here on offense, drops back, looks over the middle, fires that way, and the ball is dropped by Daquan Green at about his own 46-yard line. Almost a nice catch there, but it falls incomplete, and it'll be 2nd down and 10.
Once again, a good job by this Malden secondary, knocking that ball away. They've done it quite a few times tonight, and once again, we see it there.
Dorman now will stay in the same formation as Hill now, talking to his lineman, takes the snap in the shotgun again, drops back. Here another blitz called by Malden, but he fires over the middle and he hits Tyreek Long at the Malden 45-yard line. Takes a hit, but a nice catch into Malden territory. Pick up a 15 on the play.
And right there, Colin Hill throwing a perfect pass straight to his receiver over the middle of the field for a big gain. And It looks like this Dorman offense is, you know, got a little momentum here to start things off.
Snapped Hill, he hands to Bain this time, who slips at the line of scrimmage and loses a yard on the play there. It'll bring up second down and 11 now from the 46-yard line. So we got to see Malden come out here in the second half and look like the same team as they were in the first. We've seen all too often this season they've come out and played not necessarily worse than they did in the first half, but just not able to be strong out of the gate necessarily. Hill now with two receivers on either side and Bain to his right on second down and 11. Hill takes a snap, drops back, looks right side, throws that way for Long, who tries to reach out and make the catch, but it falls incomplete. On the right sideline, it'll bring up third down and 11 now for Dorman.
Some good coverage there by Jonathan LaFloy. Able to, even though there was a little space that the receiver was able to create, he was able to catch right up to him and, prevent that pass from being caught. And it'll be interesting to see here if Dorman's able to convert this third down.
First third down of this drive here for Dorman. Three receivers to the left and one to the right now. Long, the lone receiver to the right side. Snap here to Hill. He drops back, looks left side to start, throws that way for Long, and he makes the catch as he might have dropped it at the end of the play. The refs say he did, and a big stop here for the Mavericks on fourth down and long as Tyreek Long could not hold on to the football.
And a good job there by the Malden secondary to knock that ball loose once again, and now Dorman facing the fourth and long, and it looks like they're going to send the punt team out there.
Corey Arnold's third punt of the ball game. He pinned Malden back at their own 6 earlier in the ball game. This one a good punt. Hunter Dawsey signals for the fair catch and makes it on two knees at the 6-yard line where Malden had to start after their last punt reception. Let's see if they can drive all the way downfield and add to their lead here early on in this second half.
Yeah, no, and it'll be interesting to see, as Malden has already, had to experience being pinned deep in their own territory earlier in this game. It'll be interesting to see, if they're able to get a drive going here, starting on their own 6-yard line.
Harris now, two receivers to either side, takes a snap and hands to Blakely, who cuts up the middle, maybe gains 2 or 3 on the play after initially getting hit. It'll bring up second down and 9 now for Malden at their own 7-yard line. As now Malden will move 3 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. Blakely now to Harris's right as well. Harris takes a snap. Looking left side now, he under some pressure, throws that way, is incomplete for Isaiah Sullivan there, the intended receiver. It'll bring up third down and 9 now from their own 8-yard line.
It'll be interesting to see the play call here for the Mavs as, they're once again facing third and long. And, punting, this deep in your own territory can be tough and can provide Dorman with some good field position, so they're going to want to try and convert here.
Harris now with 3 receivers on the right and 1 receiver on the left. He fakes the handoff to Blakely now in the end zone under some pressure. Throws for Blakely, who makes a nice catch. Sliding catch at the 20-yard line. It's good enough for the first down as he took a fake handoff and then turned it into a 12-yard reception there. And a nice play for the Mavericks here to gain the first down.
And what a play there by Various Blakely as Draquan Harris was under some pressure in his own end zone, so he had to get that pass off to avoid the safety. And, a low pass, but Various Blakely, they were able to adjust and able to make a great catch to keep this drive alive.
The Dorman defense is looking frustrated so far as there is an injured player on the field. Malden getting their first down of this third quarter. A nice play there by Blakely. he's really become a hybrid player, you know, with the big runs along with receptions this season. As the hurt player limps off the field, and the Malden offense will come back on. First down and 10 from their own 21-yard line.
Yeah, and like you were saying, we've really seen a Various Blakely show out this season, you know, catching and running the ball.
Harris now takes a snap in the shotgun. Hands to Blakely. No, he takes it himself this time. Runs up the middle. Gains about 4 on the play. It'll bring up second down and 6 from the 25-yard line.
And so far tonight, we've seen this Dorman defense do a good job of containing Draquan Harris, as he's usually able to run for quite a few yards, you know, in some of these games. But so far tonight, this Dorman defense has kept him rather quiet.
Well, now running trips to the right side here as Harris takes a snap and hands to Blakely again, who breaks a tackle, gains maybe a yard on the play. It'll bring up third down and 5 now for Malden at their own 26.
And yet again, Malden facing third down here in their own territory early on here in this second half. And, you know, you really want to, you know, get things going and, you know, get things, you know, moving like they were in this first half, where they were able to take a 10-point lead. And, you know, they want to keep adding on to that lead here against this very good Dorman football team.
Malden running 3 receivers to the right and 2 to the left. Harris alone in the backfield. He drops back now, looking over the middle. Under some pressure. Escapes again. Now just lobs a pass in Terry's direction, but it falls incomplete. We're bringing fourth down and 5 now for Malden, as they cannot convert.
And once again on that play, usually this season when we've seen Draquan Harris get under pressure like that, he's been able to escape and pick up a few yards. And in a lot of situations, he's been able to pick up first downs like that. But right there, we saw that Dorman defense stand up and contain Draquan Harris in the backfield, able to force the incompletion and force the punt here.
Hunter Bowden now on to punt for the Mavericks. His second of the night. This one a good one, end over end, as it hits around the 50 and rolls into Dorman territory. It'll be down around the Dorman 44-yard line, where Colin Hill will try to lead this offense back to the end zone.
And once again, we'll see if this, you know, Malden defensive front can really step up and stop this run game and put a little pressure on Colin Hill, and see if this Malden secondary can keep doing what they've been doing so far tonight.
Hill now will have 3 receivers to the left and none to the right. An interesting formation to start here. He takes a snap and hands to Bain, who runs right side, has a hole up the middle. Breaks a tackle, but is tackled around the Malden 47-yard line. It'll bring up second down and 2 here for Dorman.
And we've seen Bain do a good job of getting positive yards for this Dorman team on the ground and setting them up in a lot of short yardage situations.
Hill now in the same formation. This time Bain is to his right. He takes the snap and hands to Bain again, and he's tackled behind the line of scrimmage after he eludes some pressure. But he is brought down about 3 yards behind the line. Will bring up third down and 4. A nice tackle there by Charles Gupton, the sophomore.
And with the blitz coming there, good job by Malden to, you know, find Bain behind the line of scrimmage and wrap him up, and, you know, once again forcing a third down for this Dorman offense.
3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right now for Dorman, as Bain is to Hill's right again. Hill takes the snap, drops back, looks over the middle. Under some pressure as he evades some of it, but now he's still pressured, and he's sacked in the backfield by Charles Gupton, as 2 big tackles from that sophomore in a row. And Dorman goes 3 and out to start their second possession here in the second half.
And right there, Malden, we saw a lot of that in this first half, as they were able to stop this run game and put a lot of pressure on Colin Hill, and they did it again there. Good job by that Malden defense.
Corey Arnold's punt is a good one, end over end. It hits around the Malden 20 and bounces about 3 yards towards the end zone. After that, it will be marked down around the 17-yard line of Malden, where Draquan Harris will now take over on offense.
Yeah, and once again, we'll see Draquan Harris lead this Malden offense back out on the field with a 10-point lead here. This time not pinned so deep in his own territory, so giving himself a little more room to work with, and it'll be interesting to see if this Malden offense can get right back into the groove of things.
Harris will have 3 receivers to his left and 1 to the right to start. He has Blakely to his right side in the backfield as well. First down and 10 from his own 17. He takes a snap, hands to Blakely, runs left side, met at the line of scrimmage, and will be marked down there. No gain on the play. It'll bring up second down and 10 here for Malden. Malden now will have 3 receivers again here to the left side. Dawsey will be the lone receiver on the right. Sullivan, Terry, and Atkins on the left now as Blakely moves to receiver on the right side as well. Harris along in the backfield takes a snap. It's a low one. He picks it up, though, and is under some pressure quickly. Throws right side for Jake Terry, and he finds him there at the 30-yard line, wide open. He steps out of bounds and gets Malden the first down around the 32-yard line.
And we kind of saw Draquan Harris resemble Chad Kelly of Ole Miss a little bit there, handling the bad snap and able to find a receiver downfield for the first down and the big gain to keep this drive going for the Malden Mavericks.
Malden will now run 2 receivers to either side, and Blakely to Harris's left shoulder. Terry in motion now on the play. Harris takes a snap and hands to Blakely. Flags out on the play as it is whistled dead. And Blakely will hand over the ball to the referee as we await the call. False start on Malden. It'll back him up 5 yards and bring a first down and 15 here for Malden at their own 27-yard line. As we start to see penalties nipping at the heels of Malden early in the third quarter as well.
And we saw it at the end of the first half with a lot of offensive penalties, killing drives.
3 receivers to the right and 1 to the left now for Malden. Harris, another low snap. Fields drops back now. He's going to take it himself. Runs left side and is met, and he fumbles the football. Dorman falls on it. And Dorman will take over first down and 10 at the Malden 28-yard line. Harris was nailed after he tried to take it himself.
And with some rain coming down here at Freeman Field, this could prove to be a big point in this game where, this Dorman defense was able to force a turnover and, give this offense some great field position, putting themselves in a spot to put some points on the board here.
Hill will come out with 2 receivers to the left and 1 to the right in the I formation with Bain behind him. He takes a snap, flips to Bain. He runs left side as a whole. Gets down to the 25, tackled around the 20. Flips around, falls to about the 19-yard line. Vonyel Coleman there on the tackle for the Mavericks. It'll bring up second down and 4 here.
Yeah, and right now Bain in this second half has come out and gotten a few good pickups for this Dorman offense, and he's putting them in some good positions to convert. So we'll see what this offense does with it here.
Hill now in the shotgun again. Flips to Bain. This time he runs right side as a whole. Gets down to the 15-10, and he's tackled around the 5-yard line. Charles Gupton on the tackle there, as it looked like he would get into the end zone, but he stopped. It'll be first and goal for Dorman at the Malden 5.
Shinar Bain here getting it rolling for this Dorman offense, and right now they're putting themselves in a phenomenal spot to tack on some more points and chip away at this lead.
Pistol formation again here for Dorman. Hill takes a snap, hands to Bain again, who runs up the middle and into the end zone for the touchdown, and Dorman has cut this lead now to 17-13 with the extra point on the way.
Yeah, and with the fumble by Draquan Harris with these wet conditions, it put Dorman in a great spot to, chip away at this Maverick lead, and right now this Malden offense is going to need to come out and respond.
Extra point attempt is up, and it is good from Davis Rogers. He was 30 for 30 coming into this game on the season, extra point-wise, 2 for 3 field goal-wise. As he hits that one and now makes the score 17-14 in favor of the Mavericks. Like you said, the offense going to have to come out here and respond if they want to stay in this ball game. Dorman, definitely one of the better teams in this state, if not the country.
Yeah, after such a good effort so far, this Malden defense is going to really have to stand up and stop this offense, and this Malden offense is going to have to come out and tack on to what is now a very small 3-point lead. And, it's going to be very, very interesting to see how this Malden team is going to react to the turnover and then the very quick score by this Dorman team.
Last year was J.J. Whiteside, the wide receiver now playing at Stanford University, that killed Malden. On the Dorman offense this year so far, it has been Shenard Bain. He has scored their only 2 touchdowns in the ball game so far and really made it tough for Malden to stop. Rogers' kickoff is a good one. It's going to be caught by Blakely, who fumbles it at the 10. He picks it up around the 15, still has time to run, gets to the 20, breaks a tackle, now tackled around the 22-yard line where Malden will take over. It could have been a very bad situation there if Blakely did not recover it as quick as he did.
Right now with Hurricane Joaquin moving up the east of the United States, us here in Malden, South Carolina, we're going to have to deal with a lot of rain here tonight and a lot of high winds. Conditions that either of these football teams haven't really seen so far this year.
Malden will come out, 3 receivers to the right and 3 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. Blakely starts to Harris's left. Harris taking the snap, hands to Blakely, runs up the middle, gains about 3 on the play with forward progress. It'll bring up second down and about 8 here for Malden from their own 24-yard line. As we saw Atkins really show out in the first half, we haven't seen him too much so far in this third quarter. Malden now 2 receivers to either side and Blakely in the backfield with Harris again. Harris taking the snap, another low one. He throws for Dawsey this time. Right side, it's tipped and incomplete. It'll bring up third down and 8 now.
Right there, Dawsey was swarmed by Cavalier defenders to, force that incomplete pass. And now, once again, 3rd and long for the Malden Mavericks as they're going to try to convert and, try to have themselves a drive here to extend this lead. But it is going to be very tough against this Dorman defense.
3rd down and 7. 3 minutes and 54 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Harris, 2 receivers to either side again. He takes the snap. Drops back, looks left side, now looks over the middle, takes it himself, gets up to the 25-30, has some room, up to about the 34-yard line. It's going to be close to the first down marker. A nice run there by Harris, and it is good enough for the first down for the Mavericks.
And so far tonight, we've seen Draquan Harris be contained by this Dorman defense, but right there, he's able to break through for a good gain there and, able to pick up the first down and trying to get this Maverick offense rolling and in a groove to put some more points up on the board.
As 3 receivers will come out to the right. Now Isaiah Sullivan, the lone receiver, to the left side. Harris takes the snap, hands to Blakely, who runs left side and trips up to about the 36-yard line. It'll bring up second down and 6 now for Malden. As we saw Harris with 3 rushing touchdowns against Wade Hampton and 3 against T.L. Hanna as well. But he has not had one yet in this ball game. He's thrown for 2 so far.
Yeah, and it's been very tough with, this Dorman defensive front, how they've been able to keep him quiet and keep him contained in the backfield.
Harris in the same formation on second down and 6 now. Takes a snap, drops back, looking left side, throws that way for Atkins, over his head and incomplete. Almost a nice open field catch at the 46, but it is incomplete. It'll bring up third down and 6 now for Malden.
Yeah, like you said, it looked like, that pass was almost hauled in. That would have been a phenomenal catch and, a huge play for the Mavericks to pick up the first down. But now they're facing what looks like about a 3rd and 6, and this could turn out to be a big, big 3rd down.
Again with the 2 receiver on either side formation for Malden. Terry in motion now on 3rd down and 6. Fakes the handoff to Blakely, flips it to Atkins. He doesn't have a lot of room to run, and he's going to be tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 2, and that brings up 4th down and 8 now from the Malden 35-yard line. Tough to see after the Mavericks looked like they were going to drive a little bit into Dorman territory, but they're unable to, and Hunter Bowden now comes on to punt.
Yeah, and right there, on that drive, we really saw Dorman able to contain, this Malden running attack and, forcing the punt here.
A nice punt there by Bowden. It hits at about the Dorman 35, rolls all the way down to the 30-yard line where it'll be touched down, as it was Shenard Bain that came out for the Dorman offense last drive and just controlled the Malden defense to cut it back to a 3-point lead. Let's see if he can do that again here.
Yeah, and Colin Hill leading this offense back out on the field, and we've seen Bain really get things going for this Dorman offense and be really the life of this offense.
Snap to Hill, he flips to Bain again here. Flag on the play. Bain has some space, breaks a couple tackles, gets all the way up to the 50 and into Malden territory down to the 46-yard line. Flags fly around the line of scrimmage, though. It could be a holding call as the Dorman players start to walk back towards the line. As we await the call here, I do believe it's going to be a holding call, as the refs now signaling here that the play clock is off. They're going to have to reset that. It is a holding call against Dorman. Is that one a big penalty? The second longest run for Bain so far tonight is brought back with that penalty.
Yeah, we've really seen penalties, really kill and squander a lot of opportunities for both of these teams, both on the offensive and defensive side of the ball.
Dorman now having to go from their own 20-yard line. A minute and 43 seconds to go in this third quarter. Not a lot of scoring. Dorman has put the ball in the end zone one time so far, but Malden has been silent in this quarter of play. Hill will start with 3 receivers to his right side and 1 to his left. Bain continues to his right side in the backfield. Hill takes a snap, drops back, looks right side, now throws that way for Tyreek Long, and he hauls it in for a gain of about 17 on the play. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 1 here for Dorman. A nice pickup there for the Cavs.
And once again, Dorman's finding themselves in another short yardage situation, putting themselves in a very good spot to try and convert and keep this drive going.
Same formation now. The pistol, actually, for Dorman as a handoff to Bain on this play again. He jukes and gets up to the 45-yard line. Picks up the 1st down there for Dorman as they start to work now with under a minute to go in this quarter.
We've really seen Shenard Bain show out for this Dorman offense as he's been able to, get it done on the ground and really, be the life of this Dorman offense so far here tonight.
Hill will have 2 receivers either side this time. Still in the pistol with Bain behind him. He takes a snap and takes a handoff to Bain. He looks left side now, downfield a long ways. He fires and almost a long reception there by Daquan Green, but it's just past his diving attempt. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10 now from their own 45-yard line.
We've seen quite a few passes from both Draquan Harris and Colin Hill be overthrown, and a lot of missed opportunities by both of these teams as they've, been able to set themselves up and, have receivers run good routes and have a lot of, good open opportunities, but they've been squandered here with overthrown passes.
2 receivers to the left and 1 to the right to start here. Another handoff to Bain. He has a hole up the middle. A lot of space. Breaks a tackle. Cuts back now. Gets into Malden territory. 15-yard gain on that play for the first down. Gets all the way down to the Malden 39-yard line as Dorman starts to work the field again.
We've seen Shenard Bain do it all night here, folks, and he just keeps getting it done on the ground, picking up first down after first down for this Dorman offense here in the second half.
3 receivers to the right now and 1 to the left for Hill. He takes a snap, fakes a handoff to Bain, looks right side downfield for Tyreek Long, and just past his right arm and incomplete there. Another missed opportunity for Dorman. It'll bring up second down and 10.
And, once again, Colin Hill overthrowing another pass, but it seems, with the wind, he is throwing with the wind, and it seems like it could be carrying his passes a little, over over where he's trying to put it, and, it's really proving to be costly for this Dorman Cavalier offense.
Timeout now called. That's the end of the third quarter here. The Mavericks still lead this one 17-14. As it's going to definitely get interesting here in this final quarter of play. Malden beat Lawrence in a close fourth quarter 3 weeks ago, and then lost a tough, high-scoring ball game to TL Hanna just 2 weeks ago. So they know what it's like to be in this kind of situation. Dorman has not played too many close games so far this year. They've really blown out every opponent they've faced. But let's see how they handle this situation as well. It'll be second down and 10 from them as we start the fourth quarter at the Malden 39.
Yeah, and it looks like this game is really going to come down to the wire with Malden only up 3 at this point, and both defenses playing very well. It'll be interesting to see the outcome of this ball game.
Hill takes a snap and flips to Bain. He runs left side, gains maybe a yard on the play. It'll bring up third down and 9 now from the Malden 38.
In this fourth quarter, if this Malden defense wants to stop this Dorman offensive attack, they're really going to have to put Shenard Bain in this run game on hold.
Hill now will have 3 receivers to his right and 1 to his left. Bain sets up to the left side of him. He takes a snap here on third down, drops back, looks right side, has a receiver open. It's Stone Pellegrino who makes the catch at the 30-yard line and gets the first down as he steps out of bounds around the 26. Another Dorman first down here in a third down situation. That's tough to see for the Malden defense.
Yeah, and we've seen this Dorman offense be in a lot of third and long situations here tonight, and right there they're able to convert and keep on driving, and pushing down deep into Malden territory.
Hill now back to the pistol formation to start this set of downs as they near the red zone. He hands to Bain, who has some space up the middle, gets down to the 15 where he's tackled by Vonyel Coleman. He's close to another first down here for Dorman. A nice run there. But really, so far tonight, we've only seen a couple times where it has not been a nice run by him.
Yeah, really, we've seen Shenard Bain really show out and be the life of this Dorman offense. And, he's really getting it done here on this drive as Dorman's going to try to take the lead here early on in this fourth quarter.
3 receivers to the right, none to the left here. Snap is another handoff to Bain, who gets hit around the line of scrimmage and leaps forward to maybe gain a yard on the play to bring up second down and, about 10 years they say he was tackled at the line of scrimmage. Still at the Malden 15-yard line. As if Malden can hold this team to just a field goal here and keep the ball game tied, that would be so big for this defense and really set up the offense to regain the lead.
Yeah, and this is a very tough Dorman team that they're playing against here tonight, so that would be a huge, huge win for them.
Snap to Hill. He throws towards the end zone for Stone Pellegrino, but it falls incomplete. A very close play there. Good defense by the Mavericks. That's almost a nice catch. But it does fall incomplete, and it brings up 3rd down and 10 now for Dorman, and a big 3rd down in this game.
You know, with this Dorman running attack being so successful, we have seen this Malden defense really step up in these passing situations. We've seen their secondary really show out tonight.
Dorman sends 3 receivers to the right and 1 to the left now. Tyreek Long, the lone receiver, to the left side. Hill takes a snap, drops back, looks right now towards the end zone for Tyreek Long, and he makes the catch and gets into the end zone for the touchdown, and Dorman has taken their first lead of this ball game here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, and it kind of looks like this Malden defense just looks a little fatigued out there as, you know, this Dorman offense was really able to get a nice steady drive going and really just, you know, able to capitalize and punch it in for the touchdown here.
Extra point attempt from Davis Rogers is up, and it is good, and he stays perfect on the season now. 33 for 33 on the year. And Dorman now leads this ball game 21-17. Malden has not responded to a Dorman score yet tonight. It would be big for them to do it here to try to regain this lead. A field goal would cut it to a point. That really wouldn't do much for this offense at this point, but any kind of points counts.
Yeah, it's been, you know, in this second half, Draquan Harris has really had a rough go of it. You know, he's been under a lot of pressure as this Dorman defensive front has done a very good job, and this Dorman secondary has done a very good job, you know, providing some good coverage and taking away a lot of Draquan Harris's weapons.
Blakely and Atkins in the backfield to start here again for the Mavericks on this kickoff. As it becomes crunch time here for Malden. If they fail to score again in this second half, it could be tough because the Dorman offense really starting to show out. Rogers' kickoff is another good one. It's end over end. It'll be caught by Blakely at about the 15-yard line. He has some space, gets a good block. It's up to the 35 where he's tackled down, flips to about the 37-yard line. And Malden now with some very solid field position to start this first drive of the 4th quarter.
Yeah, good job by Various Blakely to get that ball upfield and put this Malden offense, you know, give them some pretty good field position down there. And, you know, we see Draquan Harris take the field once again as he's going to look to try and regain this Malden lead.
9 minutes and 57 seconds to go here to start this drive. 3 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. Harris takes a snap, drops back now. He looks left side. He's going to run it himself. Does not have any room, and he's tackled for a loss. Loses about 3 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 13 from his own 36-yard line.
Yeah, and we've seen this a lot here in this second half as Malden has had to face a lot of long yardage situations and haven't really been able to convert. And, you know, it's really killed a lot of their drives. You know, we saw in the first half where they were able to put themselves in good spots to convert, but they haven't been able to do it here in the second half of this ball game.
3 receivers now to the left and 2 to the right. Harris alone in the backfield takes a snap. Throws for Atkins at the 40. He makes the catch, spins, and gets up to about the 46-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down and 3 now for Malden as they try to convert here on 3rd down.
And a good pickup there to put themselves in, you know, a spot, 3rd and short, a very manageable conversion for them. And, you know, it would be huge if they can, you know, come out and get this conversion and keep this drive going as they try to regain this lead or just try to put some points on the board to put them in a spot to come back and win this ball game.
As it looked like a Dorman player was shaken up there, it was Azaria Vasquez, who's made 2 tackles for loss on the ball game so far. Malden now sending 2 receivers to either side on this 3rd down now, with Blakely still in the backfield. Harris takes the snap, hands to Blakely here, runs up the middle, and grabs the first down for Malden into Dorman territory, gets to about the 49-yard line. A nice pickup there for Various Blakely to keep the drive alive.
A good job by Various Blakely there to pick up the first down. And, we've seen him have one heck of a game here tonight, and, he just needs to keep that going, to provide a little fire for this Malden offense.
Malden has never beat Dorman in their 19 appearances together. Atkins in motion for this play. He fakes a flip to him, hands to Blakely, who runs up the middle, picks up about 5 on the play. A nice gain there to bring up second down and 5.
And that's a very interesting stat. You mentioned that, Malden has never been able to beat Dorman in history, and, it would be very exciting for this Malden team, to be the first to beat a Dorman Cavalier football team.
An interesting team here, somewhat young with some key transfers, as it would be quite the feat to do it here. Another handoff to Blakely. He runs up the middle, has some space, gets down to the 35-30, and he's tackled around the 25-yard line. A nice pickup there, and another Malden first down into the Dorman red zone.
We've seen Various Blakely have quite a few good pickups here in tonight's game, and right there, that's huge. That's really putting Malden deep in Dorman territory as they try to put some points up on the board and regain this lead, and this Malden defense driving well right now.
Harris taking the snap. He hands to Blakely again, who runs it left side, cuts back up the middle, gains about 5 on the play again there, as he is really producing on this drive for Malden.
Yeah, we saw it with Shenard Bain having such a huge impact on that Dorman offense, and right now Various Blakely is the life of this Malden offense right now, as he's providing a lot for them.
Second down and 6, 3 receivers to the right and 1 to the left here for Malden. Blakely tying his shoe, and they're ready to go now. Harris fakes the snap, as they'll reset and do it again here. Harris now taking the snap. He throws a screen pass to Dawsey this time, who drops it, and it falls incomplete. Tough to see there. Basically just a loss of a down for Malden. It brings up third down and 6 now for the Mavericks. We've really seen him have some big games these past few weeks, but he has made some dumb mistakes so far in this ball game.
Yeah, and it's just frustrating to know that, you can be better. And, we've seen Hunter Dawsey be great, and, hopefully he'll be able to make up for it here.
Harris now taking the snap on third down. He hands to Blakely again, who is brought down as soon as he gets the football in the backfield. Tommy Littlejohn there on the tackle. Fourth down and now 12 after a big loss on that play. The Malden offense staying on the field as they have to at this point. Probably out of field goal range for Standridge, even with the foot.
And on that play, it looked like Littlejohn was, around a Various Blakely's face mask, but no call there, and it'll be a tough conversion here for this Malden offense.
Big fourth down now, as a timeout's going to be called by the Mavericks. They're going to talk things over, as we've seen a lot of big plays so far tonight by a few Malden receivers, mostly Matt Atkins. He's been the leading receiver so far, and all season for that matter. In the first half, he had 26 yards receiving-wise, and really only 2 attempts. He ran one for 22 yards and set up Malden for some scores. As we've seen him so far this drive a little bit, but probably expecting something his way maybe here on this down, on this big fourth down for Malden.
Yeah, and we've seen Hunter Dawsey, get his job done here tonight. He's had a few drops, a few mistakes, but, I feel like Hunter Dawsey, with his talent, he can really make up for those mistakes.
2 receivers to either side now for Malden. Blakely continues in the backfield with Harris. Fourth down and 11. Harris takes the snap and drops back. Looks over the middle now. Rolls right. Looking for a receiver. Nobody's open as he just heaves it at the end zone. It is tipped and intercepted at the 3-yard line there. As we're not sure who made the interception, but it was intercepted by the Dorman defense. As the Mavs unable to convert there on fourth down, but that's really not the worst thing. The ball looking like it was going to be incomplete. You pin them, deeper than they would be if the ball had just fallen down. Dorman now having to take over from their own 5-yard line, first and 10.
Yeah, that interception is almost like a punt by Draquan Harris as he's able to pin this Dorman offense deep. And if they can come up with a big stop here, they can give themselves some good field position to try and come back and take a lead here.
Hill coming out with 2 receivers to his right and 1 to his left. He hands to Bain to start. He runs it up the middle and picks up about 6 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 4 here for Dorman.
And with just a little bit over 6 minutes left here, it's going to be big to see if this Malden defense can come through with a stop here.
Stone Pellegrino and Tyreek Long on the left side as receivers here for Dorman. As they send Daquan Green to left side here as Hill hands it off to Bain again, and he picks up the 1st down with that run up the middle. It'll be 1st down and 10 now for Dorman from their own 16-yard line.
And we keep seeing the rain and wind be a factor here at Freeman Field as, it caused a few problems with, drop passes and, on that last Malden drive. And, it's going to be interesting to see if it, causes any troubles for this Dorman offense.
Hill now will have Bain to his left side, and the same formation as we saw last play. He hands to Bain again, who runs it right side, looking for a hole, finds one up the middle, now has some space, gets up to the 25, up to the 30, stiff arms, up to the 40, up to the 45, across into Malden territory, down to the Malden 41-yard line. A big pickup there for Chenard Bain. 32-yard gain, and Dorman now will have it 1st down and 10 at the Malden 41-yard line.
If this Malden team wants to be able to get back in this game and come back and have a drive to win it, this Malden defense is going to have to stand up right here and make a stop because, another 1st down conversion can really put Dorman in and around field goal range to really tack on a lead. And then, right now it looks like they're driving. They could possibly, punch it into the end zone for another touchdown. So this Malden defense really in need of a stop here.
Snap to Hill. He hands to Bain again. He's met at the line of scrimmage this time by Reese Bartlett, who makes a nice tackle there. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10 from the same spot. Clock rolling here. 4 minutes and 27 seconds to go in this final quarter of play. Dorman here could really probably run the clock out if they wanted to, if they play it right, but they might not be able to. 2 receivers to the left and 1 to the right here again for Dorman. Snap to Hill. He rolls left now, looking for a receiver. He hits Long at about the 37-yard line. He slips and falls down after a gain of about 4 or 5 on the play. It'll bring up 3rd down and 6 now at the 38-yard line, and a big 3rd down here again.
A good job by Jonathan LaFoy there to make the open field tackle and force this 3rd down, and this Malden defense needs a stop right here if they want to come back and win this ball game.
Two receivers to either side here for Dorman on this 3rd down and 6. Snap to Hill. Throws a screen pass to Tyreek Long. Has some space, but he's met at the line of scrimmage. He leaps forward, but I don't think he has enough for the 1st down. He does not. It'll be a 4th down and about 3 here, as it looked like he had a small hole, but the Malden defense quickly smothered that. And it'll bring up a 4th down now.
And it looks like, here they really could go for it and not be in too bad of a spot, the Dorman Cavaliers. And, it looks like that might just be what they're going to do here.
Hill is going to go for it. He scoots up to the line of scrimmage now, as he tries to pull Malden offside. Cannot do so. Dorman's going to have to use a timeout here with just over 4 minutes to go.
And right there, Dorman really just trying to draw this Malden defense off sides and, get the 1st down. But, right here, it looks like that we could really see Dorman punting this ball and pinning Malden deep in their own territory. And it looks like we might see Draquan Harris in this Malden offense one more time to try and come back and win this ball game.
Only 2 minutes and 56 seconds to go in this ball game. As with the run game, Dorman really able to wind the clock down. These teams have played every year since 2002. Their first meeting was in 1988. All of them, Dorman wins, obviously, as they are 19-0 in the series. They try to make it 20-0 here tonight. Hill in the offense coming back onto the field. We might see a quick kick. We have not seen one yet tonight from either team. We normally see it. Harris, pretty good punter himself. Snap to Hill now. He hands it in. No, he fakes it. He takes it himself and has some space around the end. Gets down to the 10, down to the 5-yard line where he's tackled out of bounds. A beautiful play call there by David Gutshaw, the Dorman head coach. There is a flag on the play that flies in late, but everybody on that play expecting the handoff to Bain, and Hill takes it himself, and that's why he is one of the top 15 quarterbacks in this state.
Yeah, and Colin Hill doing a good job on the option there. Able to really sell the run, to Bain, and, right there able to get the big pickup. And right now, this Malden defense, their chances are dwindling, and, they really need to stand up here, make a stop, force a field goal, and see if they can come back and tie this game and bring it to overtime.
Offsetting penalties now will leave Dorman at the Malden 7-yard line, where they'll take over first and goal. 2 minutes and 38 seconds to go now. This defense has to force a field goal here, or it could be getting bleak for the Mavericks. Snap to Hill. He hands to Bain, who is caught at the line of scrimmage. A nice tackle there by the lineman. It was Patrick Wofford on that tackle. Backs him up a couple yards now. Second down and goal from the 9.
It's going to be really interesting to see if this Malden defense did a great job in the first half and has really, seemed fatigued here in this second half, to see if they can really stand up and make a stop and, possibly have a chance to tie this game.
Hill now with 2 receivers to the right and 1 to the left. Takes the snap. Hands to Bain again, who has some space up the middle. Gets down to the 2-yard line. He's tackled down there. It'll bring up third down and goal now from that spot.
Now under 2 minutes to go in this ball game, and it could possibly be a situation where we see Dorman go for it on fourth down, since the game is getting into the closing minute, and we could see them, even if they do turn it over, it would pin Malden deep in their own territory.
Might be the smarter call. The wind really picking up here and making these conditions tough to play in. 2 receivers to the left and 1 to the right here to start for Hill. He takes the snap. Hands to Bain again, who runs up the middle and is stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Did he get into the end zone? He did not. He's down at the 1-yard line, and it brings up fourth down and goal from there. And now it is decision time for the Dorman Cavaliers.
Like I was saying, it may be a good idea to go for it here on fourth down for this Dorman team. As we're in the closing minutes of this ball game, and even if they do not get the fourth and goal conversion, they're not able to punch it in, it would pin Malden very deep in their own territory. If you do kick the field goal and you do take a 7-point lead, Malden would receive a kickoff and be able to provide themselves with a little better field position. But it'll be very interesting to see the play call here by this Dorman team.
1 minute and 6 left to go here in the fourth quarter. The Mavericks using their second timeout to stop the clock, as it's really going to be interesting to see what Dorman decides here. Their kicker, Davis Rogers, only attempted 3 field goals on the season. He's 2 for 3 so far.
Yeah, and if you do take the field goal attempt and you do miss it, Malden is still pinned deep in their own territory. But with the made field goal attempt, you do take a 7-point lead, but Malden could provide themselves with some pretty good field position. So there's pros and cons to both decisions. It's going to be interesting to see what the play call is here.
As it looks like Colin Hill starts to walk onto the field, but Another timeout is taken, this time by Dorman. They want to talk things over here. As it's really, this play, the upcoming play here for Dorman could decide this ball game. If they decide to go for it, probably likely that they find the end zone with such a strong running back in Bain, but there is a chance that Malden stops them. And with the receivers that Malden has, they could drive downfield fairly quickly and potentially win this ball game on a miracle. Malden really showing that they're not, who everybody thinks they is this season. They can hang with some of the bigger guys, some of the bigger teams like Dorman. We'll see what they can do against Burns and Spartanburg and Boiling Springs. All those games still remaining on the schedule. As Colin Hill is onto the field, they're going to go for it here. A very interesting call.
And with the touchdown, it basically seals the deal for this Dorman offense, but this Malden defense could really give their offense an opportunity to win this ball game.
Snap now, and no, it is Hill taking it himself. Did he get it? He did not. He is down to the 1, and the Malden offense will take over from their own 1-yard line. Such a big stop there as they tried to run the trick play again. This time it does not work, as Reese Bartlett and Grant Weston making a stop there to give Malden back the football. One minute on the dot remaining here in this fourth quarter. Either Dorman or Malden will win it here. There is no overtime going to be played tonight, as it is a 4-point game as we look at the last drive probably of this football game.
Yeah, and it'll be very interesting to see.
Takes a snap, throws to Atkins this time, catches it at about the 3. He falls down. The Malden now going to have to run the hurry-up offense, as Harris had to throw from his own end zone now. The clock's still winding down.
Yeah, the Mavs have to be hasty here with only one timeout.
Harris, 3 receivers to his right and 1 to the left. Takes a snap this time. Looking right, he steps up, runs it himself up to the 10, has a lot of room. He gets all the way up to the 20-yard line and runs out of bounds there. Gets the first down and stops the clock. A nice play there by Harris.
Now just 33 seconds to go for this Malden offense. They need to start making some moves and picking up, some big yardage here.
Harris now will have 2 receivers to either side on this play, with Blakely in the backfield with him. He takes a snap, drops back, looks right side, throws for Atkins, who tips an incomplete. 28.9 to go now. That play took 5 seconds off the clock.
We've seen Malden, looking for a lot of short yardage, but they need some big gains here with only 28 seconds left, and they're on their own 20-yard line. They need to start getting things going here if they want to try and win this ball game.
The clock does stop here for Malden. 3 receivers to the right and 1 to the left. Harris takes a snap, rolls right this time, looking for Blakely downfield, has him open, and he is hit, and the ball is tipped and almost intercepted. And it is intercepted by the Cavaliers. They say it's a catch at the Malden 44-yard line. What a play there as it tips off of Blakely's hands and into the hands of the Dorman defender. They're now saying that it was incomplete, and Malden's still going to have life in this game.
Yeah, right there it looked like Avarius Blakely might be able to haul in the throw from Draquan Harris, but it did pop out. So now, catching a break there as that pass was called incomplete, this Malden offense is really going to look to try and come back and win this ball game.
Just past the top of the hour here, 9:02 p.m. with 21.6 seconds to go. The Mavericks down by 4 here. 3 receivers to the right and 2 to the left for Harris, alone in the backfield now. From his own 20-yard line, drops back, looking downfield now for Atkins. Tipped and incomplete, and now it is intercepted by the Dorman defender. That time, the big interception was made by Charles Bruton, and that's going to do it. 10 seconds to go in the ball game. Dorman will take over at the Malden 10. Take a knee, and in this game, what a dramatic one it has been. Malden coming out and making a statement, but they are unable to finish. There is a flag at the end of the play.
And right there, we've seen it with these wet conditions all night long. A lot of receivers dropping passes and a lot of tip passes, and right there, that one tipped right into the hands of a Dorman defender. And another tough loss for this Malden team, as they played very well against this Dorman football team.
Dorman, ranked second in the region and fourth in the state, look to advance that after this game. With Burns taking the loss last night, they might jump up to first in the region. Malden here will fall after the loss in their second region game of the season. There is, like you said, slippery conditions making it tough here for the Mavericks to convert on that drive, and Dorman capitalizes. The penalty is against Dorman at the end of the play. They're going to have to start from the Malden 25-yard line, but it will not make a difference, as Colin Hill now, with the rest of the Dorman offense in the victory formation, ready to take a knee. He takes the snap, takes the knee, and that is your ball game. Malden uses their final timeout in the ball game, it seems, as the players onto the field getting ready to shake hands, but they're going to have to head back to the sideline here for this final play. As this team tonight, the Mavericks, showing ferocity, really showing what they can do, but like we said, such a tough loss for this team here, as you assume now in this huddle, the coach, telling them that they grinded, that they really played well in this game. Even if the result is not what they wanted, they have played extremely well.
Yeah, I have to say this is some of the best football I've seen the Malden Mavericks play all season. They've had some big wins. They had the big comeback win at Lawrence. They played a good game at Teal Hanna, but coming out against a very good Dorman team and winning this ball game, really showed what this Malden Maverick team has.
Hill takes the snap and takes the knee, and that is your ball game. Your final score: the Dorman Cavaliers win it 21-17, as it was Bain and the rest of the Dorman offense that in the end prevailed. Charles Brewster with the big interception at the end of the ball game. And like we said, the final score 21-17. We're going to take a break. When we come back, it'll be post-game. Stay tuned here on the Walton High School Broadcast Network. We're back here on the Walton High School Broadcast Network. Your final score: the Dorman Cavaliers win this one 21-17. The Mavericks showing some heart but are unable to get the victory. Our stars of the game tonight: Jonathan LaFoy with a big interception in the first half that would set up Malden for a score. The Mavericks would go on to lose, but the defense definitely playing well tonight.
And we saw Varius Blakely play a very good game here today, and a good effort by this Malden team. Some of the best football they've played all season, but a very good Dorman team was able to pull out the win here tonight.
We thank you for joining us here tonight. Join us next week as the Mavericks will be at home again against the JL Man Patriots. Again, your final score 21-17. We'd like to thank everybody involved, as I'm Trey Yanity, joined alongside here by Chris Murphy. We'd like to thank our cameramen Spencer Bradshaw, Will Spivey, and Jonathan Nichols. Your final score 21-17. Have a wonderful evening, and thanks for listening here on the Malden High School Broadcast Network.